Trauma is a word often used casually, but its true meaning runs much deeper than everyday mishaps. Trauma represents an experience or a series of experiences that overwhelm our capacity to cope. It leaves an indelible mark on our minds and bodies, altering how we perceive the world and ourselves. When we encounter a traumatic event, our brains go into survival mode. The experience isn't merely remembered, it's imprinted on our very biology. Imagine a sudden and extreme threat, a car accident, a violent assault, a natural disaster. These events flood our system with hormones like adrenaline and cortisol, preparing us to fight, flee, or freeze. However, when the threat is persistent, or when we lack the support to process the experience, these survival mechanisms can become maladaptive. The constant surge of stress hormones can lead to long-term changes in brain structure and function. Deep within the brain's emotional core lies the amygdala, an almond-shaped structure that acts as our internal alarm system. In the face of danger, the amygdala receives sensory information from the thalamus, our brain's relay station, even before the cortex, responsible for rational thought, can fully process what's happening. This rapid response mechanism is essential for survival, prompting us to react swiftly to threats. Imagine walking alone at night and hearing footsteps behind you. Your heart races, your palms sweat, and you instinctively move away from the perceived danger. Trauma, however, can throw this system into overdrive. The amygdala becomes hypersensitive, interpreting even benign stimuli as potential threats. While the amygdala sounds the alarm, the hippocampus, another key player in the brain's limbic system, is responsible for memory consolidation and contextualization. It helps us form coherent narratives of our experiences, placing events in time and space. Trauma, however, can disrupt the hippocampus's ability to perform these crucial functions. Imagine the hippocampus as a librarian, meticulously organizing memories on shelves. Trauma disrupts this organization, scattering fragments of memories like books strewn across the floor. This fragmentation can manifest as intrusive flashbacks, nightmares, or a general sense of disorientation. Furthermore, trauma can impair the hippocampus's ability to distinguish between past and present. This explains why individuals with PTSD may re-experience the trauma as if it were happening in the here and now. The prefrontal cortex, the brain's executive center, sits atop the emotional centers, like a watchful guardian. This region is responsible for higher order cognitive functions, including planning, decision-making, emotional regulation, and impulse control. However, under the weight of chronic stress and trauma, the prefrontal cortex can become overwhelmed and less effective. Think of the prefrontal cortex as a conductor leading an orchestra. When functioning optimally, it ensures that all instruments play in harmony. Trauma disrupts this delicate balance, causing the emotional centers to blare out of control while the conductor struggles to regain control. This diminished activity in the prefrontal cortex explains why individuals who have experienced trauma may struggle with emotional regulation, exhibiting impulsivity, difficulty concentrating, or impaired judgment. Furthermore, The weakened connection between the prefrontal cortex and the amygdala can make it difficult to rationally process and regulate fear responses. Trauma doesn't just reside in the mind, it embeds itself deeply within the body. The constant state of hyperarousal and the dysregulation of the stress response system can manifest as a wide range of physical symptoms, often baffling to both patients and healthcare providers. Imagine the body as a vessel, faithfully recording the echoes of traumatic experiences. These echoes can manifest as chronic pain, digestive issues, headaches, insomnia, or a weakened immune system. The body, carrying the burden of unresolved trauma, cries out for attention. These somatic symptoms are not all in their head. They are very real and debilitating consequences of trauma's impact on the nervous system. The body, having learned to brace for danger, remains in a constant state of tension, leading to muscle pain, fatigue, and other physical ailments. The long-term consequences of unaddressed trauma can cast a long shadow, impacting not only mental well-being, but also physical health. The constant activation of the stress response system takes a toll on the body, increasing the risk of developing chronic illnesses. Imagine the body as a car running on high alert, with the engine perpetually revving. Over time, this constant strain wears down the system, leading to premature wear and tear. Similarly, chronic stress weakens the immune system, disrupts hormonal balance, and increases the risk of developing heart disease, stroke, diabetes, and other chronic conditions. Moreover, individuals who have experienced trauma may engage in unhealthy coping mechanisms, such as substance abuse, disordered eating, or self-harm, as a way to numb the pain or regain a sense of control. These behaviors, while offering temporary relief, often exacerbate existing problems and lead to further health complications. The impact of trauma on physical health underscores the importance of seeking appropriate support and treatment. Despite the profound impact of trauma on the brain, there is hope. Neuroplasticity, the brain's remarkable ability to change and adapt throughout life, offers a beacon of possibility. Just as the brain can be shaped by adversity, it can also be remolded through experiences that promote healing and growth. Imagine the brain as a garden, capable of both flourishing and being overrun by weeds. Trauma may introduce invasive plants that disrupt the ecosystem, but with care and cultivation, the garden can be restored to its full potential. Similarly, therapeutic interventions can help rewire neural pathways, strengthen the prefrontal cortex control, and dampen the amygdala's reactivity. This means that healing from trauma is not about erasing memories, but rather about changing our relationship to them. By processing the traumatic experience in a safe and supportive environment, we can learn to regulate our emotions, manage triggers, and reclaim a sense of agency over our lives. Embarking on the journey of trauma recovery can feel daunting, but it is a journey best not traveled alone. Seeking professional help is crucial in navigating the complex terrain of trauma's impact. and developing healthy coping mechanisms. Imagine embarking on a challenging hike through unfamiliar territory. Having a guide by your side can provide support, expertise, and a sense of safety along the way. Similarly, therapists trained in trauma-informed care can offer a safe and supportive space to process traumatic experiences, challenge negative thought patterns, and develop skills to manage difficult emotions. Various therapeutic approaches have proven effective in treating trauma, including eye movement desensitization and reprocessing, EMDR. Trauma-focused cognitive behavioral therapy, TFCBT, somatic experiencing. These therapies work by targeting different aspects of trauma's impact, from processing traumatic memories to regulating emotional responses and addressing physical symptoms. Beyond therapy, joining support groups or connecting with others who have experienced trauma can foster a sense of community and understanding. Healing from trauma is not a linear process, nor does it signify forgetting the past. Instead, it's about reclaiming your narrative, integrating the experience into your life story, and moving forward with strength and resilience. It's about recognizing that while the trauma happened to you, it does not define you. Imagine picking up the pieces of a shattered vase. Instead of trying to put it back together exactly as it was, you can choose to create a beautiful mosaic, acknowledging the brokenness while celebrating the resilience and beauty that emerged from the fragments. Similarly, healing from trauma involves acknowledging the pain of the past while focusing on rebuilding a future filled with hope and possibility. As you embark on this journey, remember to be patient and compassionate with yourself. By understanding the impact of trauma on the brain and embracing the potential for healing, you can rewrite your story and reclaim your life, one step at a time.